Hello and good morning and welcome to Horse Racing today for a terrific Terry Thursday at Belmont at the Big A. I always try to have a little bit of a Dr. Seuss-esque opening right there. So we go from Keeneland to Belmont at the Big A. Today, our free picks, our guaranteed tip sheet are in Oklahoma. Boy, we're all over the place, right? Remington Park is where you'll find some free picks tonight. I think going through the picks yesterday, they look pretty solid to me. So I think good chance tonight to maybe make a few bucks at Remington Park. Make sure you take a look at those tracks over there and see what's happening this evening when Remington Park gets cracking. First post time looks like it's about 7:30 p.m. Eastern time. Make sure you do that. And when the show's over, also, of course, there's a link in the description, too, if you want those picks later on. And when the show's over, you can head on over to horseracingtoday.net. We'll recap our show along with our notes, a replay. We'll timestamp every race in the description on YouTube when the show is over. And if you'd kindly support the show by hitting the HRT gear button right there like that, come on over to our Horse Racing Today gear. It's football night again in America. 20% off for everything today and for the next 6 days. Get yourself a football shirt. You can customize it to any color of your liking. You can even put different stuff on the back if you like. Write your own name on there. Give yourself a number, however it is you like to do things. Good morning to Private Ross. How are you? Belmont, race number 1, likes to 4. If, like Private Ross, you have some thoughts today that you'd like to share with us in the comment section, kindly do so. You know the routine. Like, subscribe, follow, share our content, all of that good stuff, Terry. So while they share our content, we'll share our picks beginning in race number 1.
All right, let's go. We'll see what we're going to do here, all right? We're going to start out on the turf at 1 mile and 16th, and we're going to go maidens, and it's a $90,000 purse for maidens, fillies, and mares, 3-year-olds and upward.
And the profile of a winner at 1 mile and a 16th on the turf does favor stalkers, although 12%, so 1 out of 8 winning on the lead. Post positions, you find that inside is better than outside, and the rail is overly strong. We do 10,000 simulations, Terry, to see who's got the best chance to get on lead. We also want to see, based upon our projected paces, which horse have the best chance to have a race that looks a lot like their best performances. Q30, any horse with a high chance to be on the lead with a high Q30 of 30 or above, those are your most likely candidates to go wire to wire or shotgun to wire. Par plus, we want to see what percent of the time the horse runs a speed figure equal to or above the par speed figure, 74 in this case, according to Brisnet for race number 1. You see a bunch of them with that designation. And then, of course, we're looking for odds where our simulation odds are lower than post-time odds, buying horses that are on sale, Terry. And looks like one of them is going to get out to the front there.
Yeah, that 4 shows the most speed, followed up by the 6, 7, and 2. But I think the 4 is going to get a good break and get to that quarter pole first. The 1 has an overlay, small overlay from 5.5 to 1 to 6 to 1. 3 has an overlay from 6 to 1 to 12 to 1. The 4's overlay is from 7 to 2 to 9 to 2. And the 7's overlay is about 9 to 2 to 8 to 1. All of them show par plus numbers, and 4 and 2 show C zones, and the 4 has a really nice Q30 followed up by the 6.
Yeah, 4 looks like good shot to get to the lead and should be comfortable up there too with that. Looking at our race shape here, the 4 is your lone E, just so pretty. Should get to the lead. The 6 wants to give chase. 1, 3, and 5 today is their first day on the track, well, at least live. 2 and 7 so far. They haven't been within 5 lengths of the leader at the finish line. If you're looking at that 4 horse as a lone E, well, of all the experienced horses, about a length and a quarter quicker, length and a head faster than everybody else in this race. Every 5 points equates to about 1 length. When the race is coming to a close, however, Catalyze is the one with the edge. That one's about 2 lengths faster than all of them down the stretch. Your top total pace here, not including the 3 first-time starters, Terry, 14 points for Catalyzed. Could be why that horse is 3-2 right now. It's also probably why it's on top of both of our picks.
That's true. Catalyze the 6 is the horse I liked first. She finished second in her 3 career starts. So she's really been knocking at the door. Her best turf speed is fast as among today's starters, and she has a high percentage winning trainer and switches to high percentage winning jockey. Then the 5 Counter Intelligence. is a first-time starter whose breeding suggests she will like the grass. She has a high percentage winning trainer and jockey. Just So Pretty, the fourth, my third choice. She finished third versus similar in her last race, and she has a high percentage winning trainer. The 7, Golden Note, is my long shot. Finished fourth in her last race, has a high percentage winning trainer, wins 50% of the time in the horse's second career race.
Well, that 6-horse, Terry, that's the one to beat. That's what the bettors think. That's what you think. That's what I think. If it just can rerun its last race, well, then it's a wrap. Number 7, Golden Note, second race improvement, would be good enough for this horse to find the winner's circle. Counterintelligence is that first-time starter that you mentioned. Have a 3-point system, gets 2.8 of those 3 stars. Pretty good score. And then finally, number 1, So Ready, was a really hard call for me over that 4-horse. But the rail has too big an advantage to overlook. And that 4-horse, despite the fact that it gets to the front, when it's run at Aqueduct, it is really tailed off at the end of the race. So we'll see if maybe today it has a little more stamina at a race where it's proven it hasn't got the stamina to get it done. All right, Mr. Terry, if folks want to watch tomorrow when Thomas and I do Ascot for Foreign Friday over in England, what's the best way to make sure you don't miss any of our programming?
Well, you need to subscribe to our YouTube channel and hit that little bell so you're notified about all these different programs that we have. Go down and copy the link at the bottom and share it with all your friends, relatives, neighbors, everybody you know, so they can come check us out too. And then go to our social sites at Horse Race, the number 2 day, and give us a thumbs up and a like at Facebook, X, Instagram, Threads, and TikTok. And then also keep giving us comments and picks as Private Ross 99's done today. Keep them coming because that really something we enjoy. Plus, it helps us out too.
Helps us with the big tech algorithms when people search. So right now, looking at the board, you got a little bit of value according to our simulation odds. The should be about 6-1 on So Ready, 8-1, 10-horse. The 2-horse looks like it's a little bit. You're paying too much for that one. The 10-horse Selfless, we got it at 6-1. You get 10-1. That ain't bad. The 4-horse Just So Pretty, 7-1. We have it at 7-2. That's pretty good. The 5-horse, well, that one's your co-favorite. Not getting any value with that one. The 6-horse, the 3-2, no value there either. The 8-horse, the 7-horse, excuse me. We have it at about, what's that? 7-2, 4-1, somewhere in that range. 22-1 is the longest shot on the board. That's some value there. Perhaps take the 7 with the 1, 3, and 4. Put them in an exacta box and see what you come out with.
All right.
So they're all loaded up in there for the opening call for the first race, except for we got the 5, 6, and 7. It will be good to go. And we'll get that opener off and running at Belmont at the Big A today. And then we'll move our way through the remaining 7 races. And one more horse to load. That's 7-horse. Looks like a beautiful day there in New York. Not a cloud in the sky. People are wearing their windbreakers, so maybe a touch on the cool side. Kind of like here in Chicago. And they're off, and they are running. Well, there's that quick early turn, so a lot of horses trying to push to the lead there. Looks like the 6-horse got up onto the lead with the 4. And then the 7. So the 4 didn't get the lead. The 6 got the lead as they crossed the finish line for the very first time. I got to say, it looks like the 7's running kind of hard to me at that long price right there. It's being forced 3 wide through the turn. It's going to be a really difficult spot for that 7 to be, along with that 4 giving chase. It's another one that looks like it's running kind of hard as they go through the turn, make their way on to the backside. The 6-5 favorite is on the lead. The 4 has pulled up in second to the outside. The 7 has moved its way down to the rails, so a good ground-saving move, perhaps, or maybe just a horse trying to get out of the way as it tires after going 3 wide through the turns. Down the backstretch they go, opening half in 48 seconds, pretty much on the quick side for a mile and a 16th. We'll see if those 2 front runners can hang on there. And they head down the backstretch, going for the turn. Not a big gap from first to worst there. Once you consider the 6 and the 4, those 2 continue to set the tone early on. Looks like they're coming through the turn. The 6-horse maintains the lead. Really not much change in the way the horses are running right now. The 4-horse, the 6-horse, the 6-horse on the inside, the 4 on the outside. Four's trying to get to him. They're bumping off of each other. The 6 is kind of pulled away a little bit. 4 is tying the tire a little bit. Yeah, that stride is really shortening. But he's trying to get him to re-rally. He has re-rallied on that 4 horse. Looks like the 4 horse is going to overtake the 6. Well, wait a minute. The 6 is coming back. They're head to head to head. Really weird race right there, I got to say. 6, 4, 3, and then I don't know who came in into fourth there. 6, then the 4, and probably some objections. I wouldn't be surprised they bumped each other a little bit a couple times. Looks like the 5 ended up coming into fourth. All right, folks. Well, you got the early favorite right there. Did win.
Well, actually, it didn't go off as a favorite. The 5 did. The late money came in on that 5 and let that 6 creep up to 8-5. As the 5 went off at 7-5.
Yeah, it did. I'd imagine though, just probably the way the betting went off though, that like the doubles and stuff like that pay less with the 6 than they do with the 5.
Oh,
a late
agree
mover.
with that. Yeah.
But it was an interesting race in there. Those two duking it out. So it'll be interesting to see what happens if there's any objection, because there was a couple of bumps that the 2 had coming out of that turn. So it went 6, 5, 6, 4, 3, 5, 6, 4, 3, and 5. Off to race number 2 we go, where the first pick 4 begins. Terry, we'll have our thoughts on some pick 4 selections. You'll share the conditions before we do that.
All right. Well, it's a 7-furlong race, an allowance race, $80,000 purse for fillies and mares, 3-year-olds and upward, pulled in New York State and approved by the New York State Registry, which have never won $20,000 other than a maiden claiming starter, or which have never won 2 races.
So Private Ross says that Belmont, race number 2 to 4. Armando with the kind words. Thank you, sir. We appreciate that wholeheartedly. And let's move on to the profile of a winner for 7 furlongs. The kind of horse that wins these races have early speed. Boy, you better be really fast, because 44%, that's a big number, Terry. Win wire to wire. Inside 3 horses get a small penalty. 4 through 7, that's the best place to be. 8 and out. So far, nobody scored out there. We don't have to worry about 8 horses in race number 2. We just got 5 of them, Terry. And if speed is the way, sure looks like one of them is going to be the way.
Yeah, that 4 shows outstanding speed, so it should get to that quarter pole first, and I believe it's going to go all the way. The 1 has an overlay from almost 4-1 to 10-1. The 4, 1, and 6 have par plus numbers, especially the 4. And then all of them show C zones, and you look at that 3 and 4, and then look at the 4 on the Q30, 80%, pretty nice.
Yeah, and his odds are 1 to 5, so he better win. This morning line odds, David Aragona, the line setter there, is pretty much excellent at what he does. 5-horse field, according to our friend Stephen Fielder, who wins a lot of these horse racing contests. Take the longest shot on the board. You got 3 that want to be on the lead, 2 that want to come from off the pace. So maybe the 2, 4, and 6, they run too fast. Sure does look like that 4 has a pretty strong advantage where the gates open. Also has the most late speed. You can't pass what you can't catch. Especially he's got a lot more early speed, a lot more late speed. Top total pace in here, Terry, is 22 points clear of the 6 horse. I mean, he's going to be one. Even 1 to 5 might be high. I'm not sure, Terry, but I think you got to take a crack to beat him. You're putting him on top.
Yeah, I am. Although, I've got a feeling that if he can't go all the way, someone's going to come from off the pace. But I do like the 4. She won her last race at Saratoga, has the highest last race speed rating. Her best start speed is fast among today's starters. She has a high percentage winning trainer and jockey, just so many boxes that she marks off. And then the 1, Poseidon's Mist, second choice. This is the closer who ran 3rd in her last race after having trouble and only missed by a neck. So she may just come from off the pace and catch that 4. She has a high percentage winning trainer and jockey too. And then the 6, Miss Lau. She ran 2nd in her last race, switches to a high percentage winning jockey, and she has a high percentage winning trainer who wins 27% of the allowance races that he has a horse competing in. And she has a bullet workout October 10th. And then number 2, Brooklyn Dance. She has a win at Aqueduct and can improve while returning to dirt. I'm going to play a $3 exacta box, 146. And then I'm going to play the first Don Johnson, Miami Vice, pick 4, and I'm going to take the 1-4 with the 3-5 with the 1-2-4-5-7 with the 1-2-4-7-10 $50 play.
Yeah, and unfortunately, if that 4-horse wins, it might be tough to get $50 back or $48 back, which is what I put on the line. Going to definitely need something with a price behind it. I don't know if anybody beats that 4 Geopolitics, but in my opinion, the 6 horse is the one with the best chance. So I put that one on top. 4 in the second spot literally checks all of our boxes here, right? And then over here checks all of the boxes too. So this one literally is a all box checker. Amy's Light, the 3 horse, that is the 5th horse, the longest shot on the board in the 5-horse field. You got to have it in your picks. Last time out, the horse was better in the second up and also better in the early part of its last race and the last part of its race. And then finally, Poseidon's Mist. I think you could flip a coin between the 1, the 2, and even the 3. So I'm going to take the 1 because it has done better at the distance than the 2 horse has. Just the pick 4 for me: 4-6 over to 2-4-5-7 over to 1-5-7 over to 2-4-7 and 10. Again, if that 2 horse wins, could be problems trying to get $48 or $50 back. Racing up, because there's going to be a lot of people who single that horse, and that means they're going to have a lot more coverage in the backside, which makes it difficult for the tickets to narrow down. In the 3rd race today, Terry, of 8, what are they running for?
It's going a mile. It's a claiming race, $32,000 claiming price, purse $58,000. It's for 3-year-olds and upward.
Now, we have a couple of 1 mile races, I think back to back, as a matter of fact. And to win at a mile, and this is a 1-turn mile at Aqueduct, you can see they're going to start back here. They're going to make their way around. So a little bit more sprint characteristics than a 2-turn route, but nonetheless, early speed does good 1 out of 3, wins wire to wire. The best place to be is on the rail. In this case, that's going to be your 2 horse. Suerte, that's going to be your rail horse. 4 through 7 is the, 2 and 3 play fair. 4 through 7 get a discount. 8 and out, also a bonus. But really, the preeminent position is on the rail. So if you're on the rail, in this case, the 2 horse, and you have speed in race number 3, Terry, you got a shot. Who's got the speed?
Well, they all show some speed, quite a bit of speed, but that 2 and that 5 show the most speed. And the 4 has an overlay from 5-2 to 7-2. The 6 has an overlay from 5-1 to 12-1. All of them show par plus, and they all show C zones.
Now, there was a bunch of objections over there. They reviewed it. I haven't seen a change in order. So it looks like they're going to keep the 6 on top of the 4 and the opener there.
Yeah, it appeared to me that 4 come over and bumped the 6 coming down that stretch. So that's why there's probably not going to be any change.
So this race, a lot of horses middle back. The 2 and 5 want to be forward. They can be forward. 2 horses we saw in our simulations. 4 horse wants to co-pilot. Everybody else middle back. Some versatility with the 3 or 6. This should favor the horses that get out towards the front. And if we look at the horses that are out to the front, Running Ray maybe not going to be out there, but Suerte will be out there. Question is, does it have the late legs to hang on? Does look like at the end of the race, Skylander and Flat Out Flying will be doing just that. With the exception of Suerte, everybody else pretty much has similar late speed. Top total pace horse in here is Skylander, along with Running Ray. Boss making boss moves. Flat Out Flying. Those 4 usually produce the winner. Terry, I went the one all the way at the bottom of the list today. You went with a different one. Running Ray. Why?
I did. Running Ray, he drops in class today and has a high percentage winning trainer who wins 22% of the races in the second race after he claims a horse, and he has a high percentage winning jockey. And then the 3 Flat Out Flying, second choice. He finished 3rd in his last race. His best start speed is fastest among today's starters. He's actually tied with another horse. And he has a good 5 furlong workout on October 9th. Skylander, the 4, my 3rd choice, finished 3rd versus Tupper in his last race. Drops in class today. And he has a high percentage winning trainer and jockey. Sorrenti, the 2, is my long shot. He finished 3rd in his last race as a favorite, but he switches to a high percentage winning trainer who wins 44% of the races when bringing a beaten favorite back to race again. His best start speed is fastest among today's starters. He's tied with the horse that I talked about above, and the Rail Post is winning a 23% clip. No additional bets for me here.
I'm going to start with the 2, Suerte Loney, going to be on the lead, and that's right where Kendrick Carmouche wants to be. Going to get that rail bonus today. See if it has some late legs to hold on. Running Ray, if it can run back to its August 21st race at Saratoga, that'll be all that's needed in the third start after a layoff. I'm going to go with the 7 horse next. Boss Making Boss Moves. Tons better with the early pace in its last race. And finally, Skylander. When Dylan Davis rides this horse, at least the last 2 times, he does have a win and a second-place horse. Gets back on top of the horse today with a drop in class. Sometimes this horse has a lot of giddy up and go at the end. As far as Ramon, as far as getting a copy of what we do, we haven't made them available yet. I'm still kind of trying to work on that, but I will get it done soon. You're on TV, Ramon. Yeah, you are. Say hi to your mom. Hey, Mom, how are you? LOL, for sure. But we are going to be posting that stuff before too long, available for sale. As long as like things stop blowing up that aren't supposed to blow up along the way for whatever reason. That Brisnet Equibase issue has caused all sorts of problems that trying to resolve. I don't know why. They've got the data all over the place, so we have to go back through and double check everything. I'm going to put some of my money to work. We have $100, Benny, in the bets to go to the track. I'm going to go with that 2 horse, perhaps getting to the lead, keeping that lead, and going wire to wire. So 10 to win in place on the 2. I'm going to do a $5 double, 2 over to 1-5, and then a $5 exact key box 2 with the 4, 5, and 7. Maybe catch some prices there and go home with more than $100 right off of this race. Race number 4, Terry. We're going to bet that one. Well, at least make some selections for that one next. No sure if we have bets or not, but what are they going to do here?
It's a 1 mile race. It's a maiden race, $75,000 purse for maidens, Phillies 2-year-olds, foaled in New York State and approved by the New York State Registry.
And we mentioned that a mile speed, and more speed. 33 out of 100 get the lead and never see the backside of another horse. The rail is the best place to be. 2 and 3 fair, 4 through 7 a discount, 8 and out also bonus. Terry. So inside or outside speed, you're looking for that barbell fastness, and well, most of it looks like it's to the outside.
Yeah, it is, although all of them show some speed except for the 5 and the 7. But those 2 outside horses, along with that 4, show some speed. So, I'm not sure just which one's going to get there first. Mm-hmm. Probably whoever gets the best break and has the best decisions made for its run will do that. And then the 4 has an overlay 2-1 to 7-2. And then the 8 has an overlay from 8-1 to 20-1. Mm-hmm. All of them show par plus numbers, and all but the 7 show C zones, although they're all pretty low.
Yeah, we're looking generally for a C zone or comfort zone of 50%, meaning there's a 50% chance that this horse is going to be in its comfort zone where the pace will match its best performances. Our trip handicapping, well, look at this. 3, 5, 6, 8, 1A, not within 5 lengths of the winner at the finish line. The 4 so far showed it can maybe be a little bit forward or maybe close. The 1 wants to close. The 7, first-time starter, boy, based upon this, just looks like you bet the 7 and go home. The 7 is your first-time starter. The 8, the 1A, the 4, a lot of them showing some early pace in here. These 3 way off early on. At the end of the race, we're looking for Cha-Cha Ren and Immigration Law. Again, really not a big drop-off from worst to first here. Maybe right about down to here. This race is kind of mixed up with horses that want to be in the front, horses that want to be in the back. Teller to win, the 4 horse. That one's 9 points clear of anybody else in terms of its top total pace. That usually gets the job done, but there is a pretty big caveat in my view. Terry, what do you think?
Well, I like the 1, Twilight Tango. She finished 3rd versus similar in her only start, and she has a high percentage winning trainer and jockey. Then I like the 4, Teller to win, finished 3rd versus similar in her only start. She has the highest last speed rating. Her best start speed is fast among today's starters, and she was well bet in her debut. And then 5, Cha-Cha Ren is my 3rd choice. She finished 3rd versus similar in her only start, and she has a high percentage winning trainer and jockey. And then I like the 7 as my long shot, Rodeo Star. She's a first-time starter who has a high percentage winning trainer and jockey. No additional bets in here for me.
I like the one horse. I mean, any second race improvement, and quite frankly, it's going to be difficult for any of these other ones to beat. When you're looking at second-time starters, folks, what you kind of want to look at is take this number here, and that speed number, you can add 5, so 81 to 13, 89, and then just look to see if anybody else can get to that number. And just off of that, 4-horse might be the only other one that has a chance to do that, but we'll talk about why you might want to reduce the outlook of this number in just a moment. I go with the 5, Cha Cha Ren is my next one. It's another horse where second race improvement makes her tough. Manny Franco should help this horse get off to a better start than it got to last time. I think it broke almost dead last. Number 7, Rodeo Star. To be honest, after the 1 and the 5, and maybe even not the 1 or the 5, not a lot to beat in this race, especially at the bottom half. And then Tell Her to Win, the 4-horse, the one that graded out pretty high in a lot of different ways. Our simulation odds, you add that 13 to 5 to 13 in there, you get another big number, right? It gets you well over that 80 par. But it's coming in from Parks. And Joel Rosario went there to ride it at Parks, was pretty well bet at Parks. I like horses that travel down I-95 from the New Naira circuit down to Parks. I'm not the biggest fan of horses that make the northward trip up I-95 from Parks into Naira. That a lot of times the first half of the race they show up, but in the back half of the race is where it's won, and that class step up shows up at the end there. Race number 5 is, Terry, the race of death, ending the first pick 5 and beginning the second pick 5. You survived the race of death yesterday. I did not survive the race before that. What do we have in this one?
It's a 6-furlong race, and it's an outer turf race. It's it's an optional claiming race, 62,500 claiming price, and the purse is 95,000. And it's for 3-year-olds and upwards, which have never won 20,000 twice, other than a maiden claimant starter or state bred allowance, or which have never won 3 races, or an optional claiming race price of 62,500.
Yes, and at 6 furlongs on that grass on the outside of the track, early speed, 3 out of 10. Your winners are gate to wire types. The rail sucks. That's what I wrote down. So coast along, very difficult spot to be in. 2 through 7, that's really, any one of those is a good spot. 8 and out is penalized again. So don't be inside, don't be outside. Otherwise, you're okay. Be fast. That's probably the only requisite. Which one's the fastest?
Well, the 9 shows all the speed in the world, but and he might have a little problem, as you said. Anybody outside the 8 has a little bit of discount, but that 9 should get out to that front and go to that quarter pole first. The 7 has an overlay from about 6 to 5 to 5 to 1. 9 has an overlay from 5 to 1 to 8 to 1. All of them show par plus numbers, especially that 7, and all show C-zone numbers.
And the race shapes up like this. Well, most people middle back again. And you see all the horses kind of slanted towards the backside of the field there. They want to come from off the pace. That should give the ones on the front a little bit of an edge. 4 Harp, the 1 horse, coast along. Boy, those 100 numbers are stakes level speed. The only question to me, though, is you got these 3 really fast ones out here that could really pressure one another. Might open up the door for some of these down here with the green in the late space. Straight Arrow being one of those. That one's about a length quicker than Seaver. They both should line up about the same place on the track. Heck, you toss out these first 3, pretty much the rest of them all have the same early pace. Our top total pace horses, top 4 generally where you're going to find mostly about 71, 72% of your winners. We find the 7, 1, the 9, and the 8. Terry, who do we find in your picks?
I like the 1 coast along. He has won 2 races in a row, go for a hat trick now, and he has a high percentage winning trainer and jockey. Gaslight Dancer, the 4 second choice, won his last race at Aqueduct, and he has a high percentage winning trainer and jockey as well. Anaconda, the 10, finished third in his last race, has a high percentage winning trainer and jockey as well. The 5 is my long shot title horses. He has finished in the money in 8 out of the last 10 starts, winning 4 of those races, and has a bullet workout October 11th. I'm going to play a $3 exacta box 1 4 10. I think this is pretty wide open. So on my pick 4, I'm going to start out with 1, 4, 5, 7, 10. I'm going to use the 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I'm going to single the 2, and then I'm going to use the 2, 3, 9, 10 at the end for $50.
I'm going to start off with a long shot. I'm going to take a flyer with the horse for the course du jour today. Been on that Aqueduct grass 2 times, one of which was 6 furlongs on the same surface and track as we're seeing today. Won them both. That's your lone EP horse. Why not at 15 to 1? Straight Arrow. This one's been off for nearly a year. The workouts prepping for today are hot. Last time the horse won before heading to the sidelines at Aqueduct. Number 4, Gaslight Dancer. That's making its 3rd start after a layoff. Will be closing for sure in this race. And then finally, Anaconda, the 10 horse. It is the class of the field, to be honest with you. Get a much better start last out. 3rd up after more than a year on the bench. I think today will either be a boom race for Anaconda or a bust race. So tough to put that one on top. But I think if it runs to its class, it's probably going to be your winner. I'm going to do a $2 exacta key box 2 over the 2 with the 1, 4, 7, 10. And then spend the rest of my money on a $1 trifecta box 2, 4, 7, and 10. They'll come in a good order there. That could be a very nice trifecta and exacta. 3 races to go, starting in race number 6. Again, tomorrow, Tom and I will do Foreign Fridays over in England at Ascot. Always a fun place to be. And had some nice winners last week. I had a $100 winner in my picks, folks. So let's see if we can get another triple-digit one tomorrow. Tune in for that at about 1 o'clock Eastern. Follow us on our social sites so you know exactly when and where we'll be. Terry, when and where are they running for?
All right. They're going to run at a mile. It's a maiden claiming race, $20,000 claiming price, purse $35,000. For maidens, 3-year-olds and upward.
Private Ryan Belmont, race number 5, likes the 7 and 4. 7 like the 2 and 4. No 6 in there anywhere. Race number 8 to 2. I don't see a 6 horse, so no codes for race number 6. A mile, we saw 2 of them earlier on the card, so we know already that early speed wins on the front 33% of the time. The rail is the best place to be, so maybe Neptune Beach can outrun those 30 to 1 odds for Ruben Silveira and Rudy Rodriguez. A lot of R's in there. 4 through 7 a discount, 2 and 3 play fair, 8 and out a bonus. Speed matters, Terry, particularly if you have some on the rail. I don't know that that's the one to catch on the rail. Am I in the right race here? Race number 6, right?
Yes, race 6.
All right, so race number 6. What do we got here? All right, I guess race
That's
number
right.
6. Yeah, that one horse is scratched. That's the problem.
Yeah,
So
it
there's
is.
2 horse moves in there.
You're right. Yeah. Well, they all show speed, but the 2 and the 7, but there's really no outstanding speed in here. There's a lot of them are pretty close together. So it's really anybody's guess who gets there first to that quarter pole. The 3 has an overlay from about 9 to 2 or 7 to 2 to 12 to 1. The 10 has an overlay from even money to 5 to 2. 10, 3, 6, and 5 have par plus numbers, and all but the 2, 7 have C zones, but the 4 has and 9 have really nice C zones.
Yeah, I didn't really like this race, to be honest with you, at all. But and because 6 is your lone speed in here in race number 6. So if that one can get out to the front, look out with Torpedo Run. 3 and 4, they want to be in the pressure spot. 5 and the 10 closers, 2, 7, 8, 9. They've not been within 5 lengths of the winner so far. So let's take a look at the early speed. Does that 6 have a shot? Torpedo Run? Yes, indeed. And all the other type of speed is to its outside. So the 6 should have the advantage to get to the front early on. The end of the race, it does look like Bolt de Plata and Confabulation, another one of those that's going to be up front. They got the most late speed. They're a length better than everybody else, although this 5 horse looks like it could be all the way in the back, except for maybe the 2 horse, which maybe should run at a different level altogether. Late speed, top speed, early speed, Confabulation, 10 points clear, 9. That's 2 lengths better than Magical Road. This 10 horse should win that race on that alone. A couple other reasons, Terry, you'll share a few with us now.
Yeah, I like it because he ran second versus similar in his last race. He has the highest last speed rating. He has a high percentage winning trainer, wins 23% of the races in the first race after being claimed. And he has the best dirt speed among today's starters. Torpedo Run, the 6, is the second choice. Finished third versus in his last race as a favorite, but has a high percentage winning trainer. Wins 28% of the races when bringing a beaten favorite back to race again, and a high percentage winning jockey. The 8 is my third choice. He is a high percentage winning trainer who wins 50% of the races when dropping a horse down 2+ classes, and he has a high percentage winning jockey. The 5 is my long shot. Can improve while returning to dirt. Drops in class today, and his best dirt speed is faster than the average winning speed. No additional bets here for me.
Yeah, I mean, I just didn't like it. I was trying to find something else to put in here besides the same 4 picks that we both have, and just seemed hard to do, to be honest with you. So confabulation, if it can run either of its first 2 races, I don't see how any of the other ones beat it. Bolt de Plata, last race was really, really bad. Terrible, as a matter of fact. But it's the only other horse in this field that actually has a par effort on the dirt. Truly Warrior, the 8 horse, really consistent performer, going to drop in class and also making a surface switch back to dirt. Torpedo Run, 3 consecutive speed figure increases, going to drop in class, is that low knee. So good shot to go wire to wire with that. Looks like we have a couple of minutes here, Terry, to race number 2.
Yeah, about 2 to 3 minutes.
So we can probably do race 7. Let's try that.
All right, let's go. So in race 7, we're going to go 1 mile 3/8 on the turf, $50,000 optional claiming race. Purse $92,000 for fillies and mares 3-year-olds and upwards, which have never won $20,000 other than maiden claiming starter or state bred allowance, or which have never won 2 races, or an optional claiming price of $50,000.
So they've run 3 races at this distance, all of which came from way off the pace. And then all of them won from post positions 2 or 3. So speed apparently doesn't matter in race number 7, Terry. But nonetheless, we'll have to talk about which ones have the best chance to get to the front.
Okay, well, all of them show some kind of speed, but the 6 and 3 show the most speed. 2 has an overlay from even money to about 7 to 5 or 6 to 5. 7 has an overlay from 5 to 2 to 4 to 1, and the 8's overlay is 12 to 1 to 20 to 1. 2 and 7 have the best par plus numbers, and all of them show C zones, and the 3 has a pretty nice Q30.
Race shape for this long one. 3 wants to be forward. Everybody else wants to close. Well, if the average winner is like 10 lengths off the leader at the quarter-mile marker, why not? Victoria's Dancer, that one does look like it's going to get to the lead. Really not a big gap from first to worst, so they probably come jogging out of the gates today. Really nobody wants to get after it. Dancing Dean, the most late speed. There you got that Victoria's Dancer right there again. That one, not surprisingly, is your top total pace horse. These 3, the 2, the 5, the 2, and the 4, 8 points better than the rest, Terry. So in all likelihood, the 5, the 2, or the 4 produces your winner. Which one do you think it'll be?
I like the 2 Dancing Dean, and it's my pick of the day at Belmont or Aqueduct. She ran second versus him in her last race, has the highest last speed rating, and she has a high percentage winning jockey and trainer. I'm a sure thing. The 3 is my second choice. Finished 6th in her last race as the favorite, but switches a high percentage winning trainer who wins 27% of the races when bringing a beaten favorite back, and has a high percentage winning jockey. You Know Nothing, the 4 is my third choice. She finished in the money in 2 races out of 4 career starts. She won one of the races, has a high percentage winning trainer. Then I like the 7, El Este Forte. She has finished in the money in 3 races out of 4 at Aqueduct, can handle the distance, and she has a high percentage winning trainer and jockey. I'm going to bet $40 to win on number 2, and then a $6 daily double 2 on top with the 2, 3, 9, 10.
Terry, this is his best bet of the day, Barry, right there. He likes this one. I'm going to go with the 5 horse in here, Victoria's Dancer, at a price to beat. That 2 horse doesn't look like it on paper, but we saw in our pace handicapping there that one could be forward. And jockey Manny Franco comes on the horse today, and he's an assassin when he's on the lead. So I'm going to take a chance to beat the horse that's likely to be under even money as the favorite. Dancing Dean, that is. I think it's a little bit scary because this one likes to be 10, 11 lengths off the back. I know that's the way to win so far at the distance and the limited number of races, but I'm afraid something could go wrong. Number 4, You Know Nothing, which is probably what it'll sound like after the 2 horse wins by about 48 lengths, but drops in class after running a couple of non-graded stakes races. And the one time he ran at this level, most recently had second by a length. Finally, El Este Forte. All of the race internals were better from start to finish last time. Probably your most consistent horse in the race. For me, I'm taking a couple flyers today, Barry, trying to get a little bit of money in race number 3. I'm going to go with the 2-horse, which is 5-1 morning line odds. And I also put a little bit of work in race number 5 with the 2-horse as well at 15-1. That's where I've put my money to work today. Let's see. Race number 2 is about to get rolling, right, Terry?
Yep, it sure is.
Or are they running already? Now they're loading into the gates right now. So let's see what happens. When the gates open, the 4-horse, as suspected, it is a heavy favorite. It's 1-9. So, yeah. Someone's got to beat that one. The only other horse that the bettors have on anywhere near that one is the 6-horse at 5-1. And everybody's going to be singling that 4 in the pick 4 and the pick 5s. The 1, the 2, and the 3. And they're off and they're running. And the 4 and the 6 have broken out to the front. We thought geopolitics would break to the front. 6 right behind Miss Lau. The 4 continues to kind of pull away. The 1 down on the rail there might get the best trip as it's saving some ground. Let's see how they play out here. The 6 did move down to the rail. The 4 has kind of come up. The 4 is going to pull up, it looks like. I don't know. The 4 could like an awkward step or something right there. I don't know if he was just saving time or not, but no, he didn't pull up. But he did take a really weird step right in there, Terry. It was kind of odd. The 6-horse has moved up on the rail alongside the 4-horse. I don't know if the jockey is just letting somebody get in there so that the 4-horse has to know what it's like to fight for the lead at the end of a race. I don't know. But it was a really weird kind of stance. Right? Yeah, now he's running up the track. But there's something odd with that 4-horse. He's running really green. The 6-horse has taken the lead on him. He's running away from everybody else. The only question is, can the 4 switch leads and get back into the race? I don't think he does. The 6-horse beats that 4-horse handily at 5-1. And then the 4-horse didn't even finish second. I think the 3-horse ended up coming up for second there. Amy's Light at a long price. What did that one go off at? 40-1. The 2-horse was the longest shot in there. Yeah. I mean, right away you could see that 4-horse like it like pulled up or something in the middle of the race. I don't know. There's some shenanigans going on there with I don't think a Belmont Joel Rosario horse is going to pull off any shenanigans, right?
Yeah, I don't think so.
Yeah, I think that's pretty unlikely. All right, off to race number 9. Race number 9. If we were doing race number 9, that would be in some other universe today. Another one of these, Terry, on the 6 furlong outer turf.
Yeah, it sure is. It's as you said, 6 furlongs. It's a maiden claiming race. $40,000 claiming price, purse $45,000. Outer turf for maidens, 3-year-olds and upward, pulled in New York State and approved by the New York State Bred Registry.
6 furlongs on the outer grass. Again, we talked about that earlier. 30% wire to wire. The rail for Cousin Ed. Yeah, I don't want to be there. It sucks. 2 through 7. I'll play the best. Pretty fair in there anywhere. So take your choice. 8 and out a penalty. So don't pick the rail. Don't pick the outside. Pick something in the middle. And hell, you probably have a winner. You should pick one that's fast. It could help you out a bit too. Terry, well, if you want the one dead center in the middle, that one looks like the fastest.
Yeah, the 5 does, followed up by the 1 and the 3. All show speed except for the 8. And then the 2 has an overlay from 3-1 to 9-2. The 10 has an overlay from almost 2-1 to 9-2. The 10 and the 2 have the best par plus numbers, followed up by the 3 and the 7. And all but the 1 and 8 show par plus numbers. And the 5 has a pretty nice Q30.
Yeah, 35% of all the Q30 scores. That's a big number, especially for a horse that's going to be on the lead. That one could get, and it has the top C-zone score. Our friend Christopher D'Souza might like that long shot at 20-1. Should be happy to be out there. Yeah, it does look like it's one that, though, hasn't finished within 5 lengths of the winners so far, trying to get that first W. At the beginning, Take the Gold is the fastest. Cousin Ed, spoken bluntly, Stars in the City, 4-horse Awesome Force. I mean, everything to its inside, just a touch slower. A 5 might have to really work to get to the front. And with that late pace there, you could see that one maybe up the tempo early and then just go in reverse. At the end, Scherzando will be Scherzandinging at the end with the most late speed, about 8 points clear of everybody else, maybe fitting 5th or 6th in the middle of the pack there. Top total pace horse is that 10, Scherzando, 7 points better than Spoken Bluntly, Cousin Ed. Well, the inside 3 in there. Again, it's either take the outside or the inside 3 there, Terry. How did you rank them?
Okay, well, I like the 2, Spoken Bluntly. Finished third in his last race, drops in class today, has a high percentage winning trainer and jockey. Stars in the City is the 3, is my second choice, finished third in his last race. He has a high percentage winning trainer, wins 27% of the maiden claiming races he has a horse in, and he has a high percentage winning jockey. And then the 9, My Life Story, my third choice, was beaten only a length and a half versus similar in his last start and has a high percentage winning trainer and jockey as well. The 10, Sharanzo, is my long shot, drops in class today, has the highest last speed rating, can improve while returning to a sprint, and his best start speed is fast among today's starters. I have no money left, so no additional bets for me here.
So I'm going to go with the 10 horse Scherzando as the top pick. That's the one of 2 pure maiden special weight droppers. This one's coming from a tier 1 track. The other one's coming from Horseshoe Indianapolis. I'll take the horse coming from a tier 1 track. Tom's Chicken Fingers. Got to be careful when you look at that one at first. You might mispronounce a few words in there. But second race improvement plus first time Lasix, hell, that could be the combination that puts that one into the winner's circle at a decent price. Number 3, Stars in the City, has hit par on Aqueduct turf. So that's what we're running on today. And last time out, showed a lot more interest at the end of the race. And then finally, number 8, Drive Through. This one gets 2.7 of my 3 stars. It was a really hard call for me over the 2. But in these maiden special races, I figured why not take a little bit better odds. But you could toss a coin on either one of those as well. I have no additional money either, Terry. Here are our full picks for today at Aqueduct. Race number 1, Terry, who won the first race? The 6 horse, right?
Yes.
And then the 6 horse coming home first in the second race.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see how the rest of this day plays out. This is the way we think it will play out. Again, tomorrow, Tom and I will share with you the way we feel races will play out at at Ascot over in England. So tune in for that tomorrow, 1 p.m. Eastern. I think right about there is a good time to get started. And tonight, well, we got a football game. I should have a pick provided I see something that's worth covering. I think on the year, I've made 27 what I call takes, won 16 of them, maybe more, lost on 10 and pushed on 1. So 6 units to the positive. Tune in for that at HRT Rich on Twitter. If you haven't signed up, follow me over there. And of course, Terry, if folks want to sign up and follow us here, what do they do?
Well, they subscribe to our YouTube channel and hit that little bell so that they can get notified about all our great programs. Go down there and copy the link and send it to everybody you know so that they can come and check us out too. Go to our social sites at Horse Race, the number 2 day. Give us thumbs ups and likes. Helps us out with the algorithms. And also keep giving us the picks and the comments. We really like seeing those.
Yes, indeed. And I'm sure you like free picks too. So you can head over to Remington tonight, put a little bit of money on the football game, put a little money on the horses. I mean, does it get any better than that? Maybe you order some of your favorite pizza or chicken or whatever it is you like and just make it like a glutton night, right? That would be always fun. And then hopefully a profitable glutton night. Again, tomorrow, Tom and I will be back for Ascot. Make sure you tune in for that in just a few minutes over at horseracingtoday.net. Recap of the show, a replay included in that recap. And then in the description here on YouTube, we'll also timestamp every race. So you can come back, open up the description, and you can go race by race and look at the data if you want, see what we have to say, what we agree on, what we disagree on. But of course, no matter what you do today, Terry, well, you give us some final thoughts before we part.
Well, just to let you know, they disqualified that 3 in that second race at Aqueduct. And so that means it came 6-4. And sorry about your trifecta, but it also give me a little bit of an exacta. So anyway, other than that, just stay safe and don't spend too much money gambling because that can really hurt you. But have fun with it, enjoy it, and I'm looking forward to seeing you guys next Wednesday, as I'm going to be gone and out of town Monday and Tuesday. So
Yeah, I'll be gone Monday too. So I'll be back Tuesday, either solo or with Tom. We'll have more on that again on our social site streaming down there below. Well, until we get back together again, whether it's tomorrow at Royal Ascot, I don't keep wanting to quote, it's just plain Ascot. And we no royalty there tomorrow. They might be, but they certainly won't be forward. We'll be at Ascot tomorrow, back on Tuesday for Parks, and then Wednesday at Keeneland, Thursday at Belmont at the Big A. No matter what you're doing, until we get back together again, we hope it has God's grace, God's favor, and every single thing you do for the rest of this day ends up in the
winner circle.
Indeed. Have a fantastic, terrific Terry Thursday.